CBS News has learned U.S. and Ukrainian officials are in talks to bring Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to the U.S. this week. President Trump is pushing to secure a peace deal by Thanksgiving. Sources say the trip is dependent on the outcome of yesterday's discussions in Geneva. Also, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he feels very optimistic about reaching a deal, but he gave few details about what was discussed in Geneva. Ukraine's ambassador spoke about the talks, the security guarantees the country wants, and why Ukraine is being so cautious on Face the Nation yesterday.
We had another of different situations where we have learned our lessons, and we faced the aggression for 3.5 years, and we learned.
And we have team coverage on this for you this morning. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams is standing by in our London bureau. But let's begin with CBS News chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, good morning to you. So if President Zelensky does visit the U.S. this week, does that signal that a final peace deal could be forthcoming? Is that what's key here?
It definitely signals that progress is being made, Errol. The Ukrainians have said that, the Americans have said that visit would be a sign of progress. And even President Trump, as recently as this morning, said that good things are happening and that perhaps there has been some movement. The biggest sticking point, of course, remains territory, and whether the territory that is ultimately granted to Russia would actually be officially deemed Russian territory. That's a huge sticking point for the Ukrainians. It would require a change of their constitution. And that is one area where Zelensky might believe that if he is able to meet face-to-face with President Trump, he can make some progress. We have seen that happen before. When Zelensky has actually been in the Oval Office, he has been able to move the president closer to his position. And so it could be a tremendous opportunity for him.
Nancy, thank you very much. Let's jump now to CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams in London. So, Holly, as optimistic as the administration may be, as Nancy just laid out, what are the main concerns for Ukraine in this 28-point draft peace proposal, which we should also make clear to our viewers, none of us have seen publicly just yet?
Hey there, Errol. Well, look, Ukrainians desperately want peace, but both Ukraine and some European countries fear that recognising occupied Ukrainian territory as Russian territory, which the president's peace plan says should happen de facto, is effectively rewarding Vladimir Putin for his invasion of Ukraine, an invasion that's cost hundreds of thousands of lives. They fear it will encourage Putin to invade again in future, either Ukraine or perhaps other parts of Europe. Now, the plan also says that Ukraine will never join NATO, an alliance that could have protected Ukraine from future attack. Ukraine very much wants to join that US-led alliance, but President Trump says it cannot happen. Instead, the plan talks about so-called security guarantees for Ukraine. That is some kind of international commitment that would deter Vladimir Putin from invading yet again. But the plan is very light on details, and without them, it seems unlikely that Ukraine will agree. I think it's important to understand that Ukrainians know that international agreements have failed to protect their country from Vladimir Putin in the past. He's now invaded their country not once, Errol, but twice. Now, President Trump gave Ukraine until Thursday to agree, and an American official told CBS News that if Zelensky doesn't agree, the US could stop intelligence sharing with Ukraine, which would likely cost Ukrainian lives. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky responded on Friday by saying that the proposed peace plan could mean the loss either of Ukraine's dignity or of a key partner, the United States. But after US and Ukrainian officials met in Switzerland yesterday, Zelensky has been sounding much more positive. So perhaps the Ukrainians have been able to push back at some of those demands in Trump's peace plan. Errol.
All right, Holly Williams with the latest from London. Holly, thank you.